reacts with mature audiences only. So if you can't stand the heat, stay away from the fire.
What's up, Raider Nation? I am the Commish, coming to you live, as always, from the friendly confines of Hardcore Challenge Live Studios. And just where is that, might you ask? Man, I know it's been a long weekend. We've been dealing with emotions and shit, you know, separation anxiety, all kinds of other fucking shit that, you know, you should lay on a couch and tell people about. So, let me give you some simple directions. Because, you know, we got all that. We're just down the street, past the house with the boarded up windows. Make sure you stop at the corner and ask my man Joe. He's a gentleman, he's a scholar, but most of all, he's got to make his money. So slip him what you should. He's going to point you in the right direction. He's going to tell you to take a left, and then a right. And as you find yourself strolling down the street, minding your own goddamn business, a cool breeze will hit you that chills you right to your skeletal core. And you'll find yourself asking, was that the autumn wind? You're goddamn right. It just blew right the fuck on by you. Should you venture down that deep dark alley? Well, of course you should. Because what you're going to find at the end is a special little place that we like to call deep behind the enemy line. This is Raider Reaction, and as it is every Monday, because there's all kinds of shit to get into on a Monday, I have somebody join me. You might know him. You've seen him before. He's a soft-spoken gentleman. Soft-spoken.
Hey, yo, bitch!
What's up, Big L?
How y'all doing? Raggedy motherfuckers, you. Some of y'all. Some of y'all all right.
Not all of you.
But all you motherfucking GMs.
Oh, we'll get to them.
Motherfuck you. Mother keep you. Oh, over here. Las Vegas.
it's the new house.
Yeah.
They say it's not official until March 18th, but I would say when the season ends, it's kind of fucking official.
It's official.
It kind of makes it official.
We no longer play in a shit tank.
Yeah. What's up, Carl? What's up, Michael? What's up, everybody?
What's happening?
I'll smell all you guys rocking them top fans. Thank you for joining us. As always, we appreciate you guys stopping in on RAIDER Action. We got a lot to get to, El. There's actually some headline news to touch on right out of the gate, which is shocking.
And for all you
Shocking,
whining motherfuckers.
Shocking, but not really shocking. But it was shocking that it was positive news this early and not somebody's head falling. I kind of thought that would be the first news of the offseason. Not the re-signing of Richie Incognito, which I think was a big move, a solid move, bringing him back.
Great move.
That means you got the whole line coming back in 2020, basically. So, that's a good thing. It's a good thing. Got the whole line coming back. For whoever happens to be under center in 2020 to start the season.
This is new. See? Ooh, God damn. Fucking fingernails!
So, you've got that. Waller had minor thumb surgery today. He's going to be fine. It's not anything that's going to cause him any major issue or any time going forward in training camp or off-season workouts or what have you. So that's why they jumped on it.
Yes, I did, Hector.
The day after the season. So that's all right. Jalen Richard, he's in a walking boot today, and Tyrell Williams is still dealing with foot issues, and he's still got fucking hand issues too. His hands suck.
See,
He's a number 2. That motherfucker's a 2.5 at best.
that motherfucker ain't even that.
I'd say a 3.
That motherfucker, no, you got to get up to the next prime number.
He's a trash. But Incognito retained for 2 seasons. I think that's a solid move, El. Bringing him back, not even dicking around with it.
Yeah.
He was on a 1-year prove-it deal. He more than proved it. He's a Pro Bowl alternate, and Incognito gets paid. I think it's I believe it's 2 years, around 14 mil, something like that. I think he's getting. So he's going to get around $7 million. I believe it was just over $6 million signing bonus. So he's going to walk away with a nice chunk of change for putting his name to the paper.
Hey, guess what?
What?
His contract is exactly what Khalil fucking Mack is going to pay in taxes this year.
So,
Fucking idiot.
good signing. Good signing. I was glad to see it. And it was nice to see that they moved on the surgery with Waller quickly. It must have been minor. They wanted to get it out of the way. Now he's got all the healing time where he's not doing shit except chilling. And he'll be ready to go.
Oh, by the way, hi, Miss Leslie. Hey, Nancy. Hey, baby. How y'all doing? Not Nancy, not baby. Mel's baby. But, hey. And no. In the immortal words of that old R&B commercial,
Barry White?
oh, no, my brother. You gonna have to get your own.
Billy D. Williams, you gonna break out the Colt
Oh,
45
no.
on me
Did
or
you hear
what?
about Billy D?
What? No.
Billy D has come out as being fluid.
Fluid?
Yes, he's not.
Lando?
Lando's been
Oh,
lambasting,
no,
dude.
bullshit.
Yeah, dude.
Oh, hell no. Don't
Yeah.
you coming up here talking
Lando's
shit about
been-
Lando Calrissian. No.
Lando's been flaming. What? Yeah.
Oh,
What?
hell no.
Yeah.
Hell no. No.
Yeah, completely
I don't
and
know where else
totally.
to go with that. That would work. Lando.
Lando's been laying the saber to.
He needs to get back on that Colt 45. That's just Billy Delicious. Not Apollo Creed.
No, not
Come
Apollo.
on. That's Carl Weathers.
No, that's Carl Weathers. But hey, you know what?
Easy now.
Hate to fuck with your bubble.
That's an old
dude.
Raider there. Nobody come on
Hate
now.
to fuck with your bubble.
What?
Carl's been picking dingleberries for quite a while, dude.
Oh, whatever. I don't care. Not that there's anything wrong with that. All right. Moving along. All right.
Question number 1.
If you haven't
you go.
noticed yet, we have a morning show, 7 a.m. Pacific, 10 a.m. Eastern, every morning, Monday through Friday. And we're going to continue that through the off season. We are going to have a little bit of an off season schedule change starting Monday after the holidays for our evening shows for the off season, at least leading up to the draft anyway. But we are going to continue the morning shows 5 days a week. Morning shows will continue. And we got big news about the Madden League. I'm going to be announcing it next week. We are going to start taking entrants. We are only there's a few of the hype team that are playing in it, so there's probably only like 28, 29 openings available in our PS4 Madden 20 League. Yeah, you got one. It is, we have a sponsor that has confirmed grand prize winner will be getting an autographed certificate of authenticity included autographed Josh Jacobs jersey. That will be the grand prize for the Madden League. Also, I'm in talks with our sponsor to kick in prizes for division champions for anybody that wins their division in our Madden 20 League. So it's a very small commitment. It's $25 buy-in. We only mandate that you play one game a week, so it's not a large commitment. We all got jobs and families, so we try to make it so anybody could join. So come on, Canyon. I did not finish well last season. I did not make the playoffs. I got way too much shit going on. I got too many irons in the fire. I do not get time to practice up on Madden. I'm sorry. If I had more time in my mother's basement, like some of you guys apparently have, maybe I'd be a little better. But I don't. So, it's all right. You just have to see my prowess. I added a drum roll. You like that, don't you?
Yeah, I kind of did that. But yeah, Jalen Richard was in a boot, but that's pretty much what he gets for getting his foot in the way of Carr's favorite receiver.
Yeah,
the fucking ground.
It is what it is. So
bad morning.
But all that info will be dropping next week about the Madden League, and we'll be taking entries, and we're going to fill that bitch, and we're going to have... We learned a lot from last season, and we're going to crank it up this season. It's going to be even
What's
better.
going on, Sleeve?
And Raymond is 2-0. Fuck you, Raymond. The guy come in and bring up old shit. Why you gotta come up in here and bring old shit up, Raymond? I'm gonna go take his top fan badge for that shit right after the show. You son of a bitch. Why you gotta bring up old shit? Raymond did whoop up on us last year. God damn it, Raymond. I think it was a close one.
Hey,
though.
what's going on,
I think
Alyssa?
It was close, if I remember right. So we had fun. We learned a lot last season, and we're gonna crank it up this year, and we're gonna turn up the prizes. So, PS4. If you want in, we'll start taking applicants next week. So,
Raymond, I did. What was different than any other fucking week? They have a conference for Quivers.
So,
just this time you saw him jizzing out of his eye sockets instead of his mouth.
Let's get right to it. We've danced around to the topic at hand, the elephant in the room, long enough. So the topic of du jour, since the final whistle blew yesterday on the game, and we blew it on the attempted 2-point conversion with the ball in your franchise quarterback's hands, and the talk has been about Derek Carr. I think the talk
What's going on, Kelly?
And I've heard the big question that I've heard a lot with the talk about Derek Carr is, why are you not hearing as much talk about Gruden? And I think Gruden kind of has a leash of one more season. I think the Flames start burning up his ass next year if things don't start to get done and you don't start to see his plan working, because he tore the thing down. He built it in his image. So, but the Derek Carr talk, is he the quarterback coming into 2020?
Well,
I don't even know where to begin with this. I've went in so many different directions with this topic.
I want to say, just realistically, without feeding into the bullshit, settle down, fuck nards. He's going to be the quarterback, because what other option do we really have?
Yeah. Here's the thing. I don't think you throw him on the scrap heap. He's still a good quarterback. Like I said, you can put greatness around a good quarterback and you can win in the NFL. And he's a conservative quarterback, but he is a fairly mistake-free quarterback. When you see polar opposite like Jameis Winston over in the NFC, who's putting up insane yards, crazy touchdowns, and going in the 30-30 club for tossing 30 interceptions. He's sloppy with the ball. Carr's not sloppy with the ball. He's almost ultra conservative. Almost ultra conservative. And I think that's the problem. Man, this weekend was a real eye-opener for me because I sat Friday night with Raider Nation, whoever the fuck, part of Raider Nation that was here, and watched that classic game, the 2002 Monday Night Football game. The Raiders had just won 4 straight. They just lost 4, and now they're going on Monday Night Football to play the Broncos. And I was watching Rich Gannon that game, and I was watching what Rich Gannon was doing. Regardless of who he was throwing the ball to, he was fighting out of sacks. He was fighting up the gut to get first downs, fighting, stumbling to keep drives alive. He was throwing sidearm around guys. That had nothing to do with his receivers or anything else. That was just him personally stepping his game up to make things happen. And then I watched Derek Carr on Sunday. And I just don't... I see him when the pressure's around. He curls into a ball and goes down. And he rolls out and throws it into the dirt. And I just... I don't know, man.
You didn't even have to look... I mean, you saw Gannon, and I completely 100% agree with that. You want to see what happens when you just have a undisciplined set of balls? Drew Lock. He ran like 2 or 3 times, tops, yesterday. However, he moved his feet in the pocket. He threw open fucking receivers that were 2 yards in front of him 5 times because all he did was move in the pocket, take steps towards the line, and then what that caused was our zone to move.
I know.
And the receiver stood there and ended up at the same level or behind people because he used his feet. He didn't use them to run. He didn't panic. He had patience, and he let the ball go because he wasn't afraid to get bumped. They can't hit him because they'll give up 15.
See, where we're at with Derek Carr is I honestly think we are stuck with his ass for 2020. I think we are stuck with our fucking golly gee choir boy quarterback for one more year. I think you're stuck with his ass because you gave him the big contract and you've given him a contract, and since you've given him that contract, he has now went out and done nothing to substantiate you giving him that contract. He's giving you no playoff victories, no playoff appearances, no division crowns, no nothing since you gave him his fucking fat payday. So how are you going to now go trade him and hand that contract over to somebody? Nobody's going to want to jump on that. So I don't know if he's that marketable of a guy. So I think you're stuck with him.
We're going to have to write out the contract.
I think what you got to do is you've got to draft somebody, you bring them in, you stick them under him, you mentor them for at least half a year. If Carr's not getting it done by the midway point of the season, his ass goes to the fucking bench and your new boy gets a shot.
There has to be that.
I don't care about stats
I don't
anymore. Fuck your stats. You fucking stat boy bitches can shove them straight, turn it sideways, grease that motherfucker like The Rock says, and shove it right up your ass. Because them stats are, I'm so sick of the stats.
I prefer you do it with a rusty fucking plank. So you get some splinters so you have something to think about every time you think your asshole bleeds. Fucking moron. So, you know, yeah, stats are fine. It's, everybody's chasing him around. Shut the fuck up. Our offensive line, okay, end of the season, Colton Miller got a little bit more swing doors. We had a bunch of fucking bullies. Shut the fuck up about him running around.
Oh, and there's the other thing that people keep saying. He's not the only problem.
He's a mobile goddamn quarterback that's scared to use his fucking legs. Shut the fuck up.
He is a mobile
He's
quarterback.
He's a pussy that's scared to run. That's scared to move. That's scared to do anything.
He's got no else.
He curls up like a fucking peel bug whenever he sees something that ain't the right color. It's a goddamn vagina. He ought to know him. He has 4 fucking kids.
So, the other comment that I keep and continually seeing is, how can you say it's all Carr? We've got so many other problems. Yes, we have a lot of other problems. Defense has been a problem. Have we not been addressing that? And has his defense not gotten better? Has our secondary not gotten better? Have we not addressed that with youth up front? We're trying to address the linebacker position. The offensive line's good. Yes, we're going to go address the wide receivers. So you're addressing the other positions. It's not that you're ignoring them, but have you seen the quarterback play improve since he got paid? Is his level of play improved? Do you see greatness out of your quarterback? No.
Alyssa said the vagina was dry.
That's unfortunate. So,
well, he doesn't show any emotion that would lack moisture.
He's not the only problem, but he's a problem. So how do you not address that one too? How do you not address subpar quarterback play? How do you not address a quarterback who has a career winning percentage of 42%, who is now second place with 55 wins in the first 6 years of an NFL career?
I want to touch on that one. But Beach Neck, hell no, we don't go after Dalton because Dalton's going to stay in Cincinnati and mentor Burrow when he gets there. But now, that fucking stat is bullshit.
The what stat?
The one where he's at second behind his brother.
It's true. Everybody wants to throw
but
stats.
Nobody wants to fucking... The beef of the stat is bullshit. And this is why.
It's not all. That's not all in the quarterback. He came in on a very bad... Okay. So, this is why that stat is bullshit. Because David Carr was the #1 pick on one of the worst expansion teams this side of the fucking Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He ran for his life and got beat like a... I was going to say run on slate. But he got beat... Red interception?
That one.
That's socially acceptable.
And that is why David Carr has 55 losses. That man was a fucking lion when it came to getting his ass kicked.
Probably not.
No, he was.
No,
he played like a fucking beast.
My comment wasn't socially acceptable.
Oh.
What you're saying is right.
David Carr had the heart of a fucking lion. The fact that he lasted 6 years behind that horse shit.
So to jump in on what he's saying.
So what I'm saying is, David Carr lost because his team sucked. Why the fuck does Derek Carr have so many goddamn losses? Motherfuckers.
David Carr lost 56 or only won 56. What was the fucking stat? God damn it, I forget. He lost 56 times over that time, and Carr lost 55. Fuck, I don't remember. Now I totally lost. You just blew my mind there. Now I've totally lost the.
I told you I was going to validate your point.
You fucking validated something. My parking.
Oh, Mr. Beard.
All right. So, Derek Carr, I think you got to bring somebody to challenge him, man. He's gotten too comfortable. I cannot stand to watch another post-game press conference of him just tell me how much he loves the guys, how much everybody's getting better, and golly gee, we're going to try harder next week. Golly gee, next season. Golly gee, guys. We'll get them next time. I love these guys. I love them all, you know? I love them all, you know? No. I don't want to see that anymore. I see no fire.
Oh, yeah, shut up with the bullshit.
I see no fire, man. Somebody's got to come in and challenge the guy. He's comfortable. He feels like he's got the cushy job of he's the starting quarterback of the Oakland Raiders, and nobody is challenging him of that. Nobody's challenging him. Who's challenging him? There's nobody on this roster.
The biggest problem
He's not worried about his job at all. What's so freaking ever?
Hey, did you notice that A.J. McCarron scored a touchdown for Houston yesterday?
Yeah, I did see that. A.J. McCarron
see?
He looked
one of our old backups.
Not terrible. He didn't look terrible.
No, I mean, And to like get off a car for just a second, Greg Olson needs to fucking go. We basically played a slow burning 2-minute offense.
Hold on, Ruben's coming in with it's the defense's fault that Derek Carr can't throw touchdowns and finish drives and won't run on plays and checks down. That argument doesn't hold water with me. See, because I watch the coaches tape, I get it directly. I'm part of the NFL communications team. And I get their media shit, and I watch the game tapes, and I see that shit. I watch it every week. You can't come in here with that shit. The defense makes stops, and then the offense gets the ball back and goes 3 and out, and puts the defense back on the field. And then they get another stop. They give them the ball back, and then the offense doesn't do anything. And then your defense gets gassed and gives up a touchdown, and then you blame it on the defense. That's not how that works. That's not how that works. Your defense has improved this year. The defense has improved this year, and the defense allowed this offense to score points, win games, put teams away. It can't put nobody away, man. If the last month and a half of this season didn't show you anything, it shows this team can't put nothing away. It has no second gear currently. It doesn't have that built in the engine that it has. It meanders through a game, and if it can dink and dunk, not turn the ball over, it could win. One fucking thing went wrong. You got behind. They weren't built for that. It's not this team, man.
The pathetic
maybe next year
bullshit where you make a goddamn excuse because of one mental fucking midget, goddamn idiot that never played a goddamn down for the fucking team. You honestly think our entire offense was built around that fucking disgrace of a fucking human being? Then you are also a goddamn idiot.
It's
what happened was our offensive coordinator needed an offensive coordinator is not a fucking yes man because Gruden is an offensive coach, but Gruden is more of a quarterback coach.
I think we're going to address a lot of the holes and the needs in this upcoming draft, and I think quarterback's going to be one of them. I think you see a quarterback come in. Here's the fact of the matter. I think he's in the purple drink.
I'm available.
What do you think he's at? The fact of the matter is, the heat is on Derek Carr because we've seen Derek Carr and we've seen this movie play for 6 years now. And I think at the end of next season, if you don't see the Raiders in the postseason, the fire's going to start to burn up John Gruden's ass. And the fact of the matter is, John Gruden has tore this team completely down and rebuilt it in his image. This is what he's wanted to do his entire career. He's tore a team down. He wants to prove he is a football guru, build it from the ground up, and he wants to build this dynasty. If you think he's going to fail without a quarterback under center that he did not hand fucking pick, this guy traded Khalil Mack away, the defensive player of the year. Everybody's calling him the greatest defensive player in the league, and he traded him without a fucking whim to get magic beans to build his team with. And look what he did out of that draft. You don't think in a second that he's gonna fall on his sword with a quarterback that somebody else picked? Oh, no way.
And for
he's going to put his guy on his team this year because if Carr ain't the guy, he's going to have a guy that's already starting to learn his system. And he's not going to wait, man. I'm telling you.
And guess what? All of you fucking Khalil whiners, he's going to be sitting next to Derek all off season because just like that, paying your defensive end turned the team into the fucking Raiders.
Yeah. It was a good move, man, and we're set up again. We're set up again this season. You've got what are we? We are 12 and 19 in the first round this season. So you could easily go wide receiver, quarterback. You could draft your future right there, round 1.
But
round 1 and go linebacker with your next pick.
Depending on the depth, because I still say we go wide receiver, corner. There's going to be a shit ton of quarterbacks in this draft that aren't getting focused on.
I think you can. I'm not.
Right now, other than Tua, Herbert.
I don't think that's our biggest need. We haven't had a number one receiver in house. We have to have one. If it's not with Derek Carr, if it's a young guy you're going to bring in, somebody's got to have a number one, Al.
That's why I say at some point. at some point in this draft, Gruden and Mayock find the piece of coal that they know is worth putting the pressure and the time in to get that diamond, because they're going to draft the wide receiver and they're going to draft the potential quarterback. Because remember, Jerry Jones didn't do shit. Dallas's GM didn't do shit.
Some motherfuckers did.
Bill,
that's what Jerry Jones did.
Bill motherfucking Parcells found Tony Romo at Eastern Illinois University. And you know who one of his good friends is? His old Army brother, Mike Mayock. He depended on Mayock to help him find Tony Romo. If he played anywhere else, he may have been more than Tony fucking Romo. But he played in Dallas, so he sucks. Don't sleep on the fact that if they get a quarterback in rounds 3 through 5, that motherfucker will be working with.
The quarterback situation's different now, because I see some of them saying in the comments you wouldn't draft a quarterback to sit on the bench. Man, you ain't got to pay him that big ass money like fucking the boat anchor.
Really?
Like fucking Purple Drink. You ain't got to pay him like you did on Purple Drink.
I still have leftovers.
You can. They could come sit and they can. Nah.
So you don't draft the quarterback to sit.
I don't.
Russell
I
Wilson
honestly not
started as a rookie because he got drafted in the 3rd round, but 2 motherfuckers in front of him got hurt, and then one came back. They put him in, and he sucked so bad they put Wilson back in.
I'm telling you,
my
man.
ass, you don't.
Body
draft
language
the
tells you a lot. And when Gruden's been asked about the quarterback, the way he's answered, and if you did not see the handshake between John Gruden and Derek Carr at the end of the game, that was a handshake of a neighbor who's moving and be like, yeah, it was nice living next to you, and I'm never going to see your ass again. It was just strange, man. The body language about it was strange. Like, he was shaking hands and thinking, yeah, I'm going to trade your ass. Yeah, what's it always you, Leslie? Come on, Leslie. Playing with the dark side.
Gruden has to stop with the motherfucker. Gruden's offense. The only reason we lost 5 out of the last 6 games. Yeah. I'm thinking the offense. I mean, did we lose a close game that was over 30 points?
I am gonna have the boringest show someday for a fucking hour and just sit here and go through coaches tape with people to prove a fucking point. I don't know how many times that I see cars scan down the field for half a second and then turn and dump. And scan and then turn and dump. There are wide receivers open. This argument that there's never anybody open. Bullshit. He doesn't throw the fucking ball. He doesn't have that gunslinger mentality. Somewhere between 2016 and 2019, he's become vanilla. He's not the same young gun quarterback that he was in 14, 15, and grew into in 16. He peaked.
Money and better side chicks.
He peaked. I'm sorry. I don't know what to tell you, man. It's 6 years. 6 years.
Exactly,
He's a nice
Beach
guy.
Neck.
He's
exactly,
a nice
my
guy.
dude. If the first read isn't there, he checks down.
Oh, immediately. Hey, so we've added a new member to the show. We'll see what he has to say about it.
All I have in this world is my balls and my words, and I don't break them for no one. You understand?
Well, that's what Scarface had to say about it.
I agree with Mr. Montana.
Sounds like solid words.
You don't agree with Tony? Fuck you.
So, it's going to be a hot topic. It's a buzz topic. But let me throw this out there, because everybody loves stats. Everybody loves stats. Do you realize this was the first team that the Raiders, the first season, that the Raiders did not beat a winning team? Only the 4th time in franchise history that we did not beat a winning team the entire season. A team with a winning record. Happened in 2019, 2012, 2006, and 1961. It's the only time it's happened. So, there's stats for you to go with. Oh, but he's got great completion percentage. You know, he's 70%. Up to 2 yards.
Del Rio figured out how to use Carr. Why can't Gruden?
Del Rio didn't figure out a goddamn thing. The motherfucker doesn't know what an offense looks like.
And
And
he's
you're
never had a
talking
wide
about,
receiver.
again,
He didn't have wide receivers. He had the same wide receivers.
Motherfucking year.
He had the same wide receivers in 2017 that he had in 2016. Did you forget
This is
that?
like the
Everybody
motherfucker-
forgets that. And he win 4 fucking games that year?
This is the kind of motherfucker that looks at his girlfriend's like, remember that time you came first?
I'm not going to be laughing, Ruben. I won't find it funny because, unfortunately, it means we're not addressing a problem. You know, I hope nothing else that if we decide to keep Carr and he is the quarterback next year, because whoever the man is under center when we decide to start the season in week 1 and whoever the fuck is under center, I'm going to support that guy.
Yeah.
Because, you know, that's the quarterback for my team.
It's like, what?
Whether I agree with it. But I'm going to spend the entire offseason debating that shit with you guys because I do not believe. And I'm not. Why the fuck would you want to watch somebody that's going to come on here and just tell you what you guys want to hear?
Oh,
That's fucking.
We're supposed to be commission Big L.O. Steen. Hi.
Guys,
You know,
the Raiders did their best
they
this
did their
year.
best this
They
year.
really tried hard,
really
and they
hard.
did their best.
And you know what?
They was
You
the
know,
best that they could
he
do,
sucks-
guys.
he
They
sucks
really
goose
tried
shit,
hard, and
he's
they're
been-
going to get even better next year because they're going to try
Yeah.
harder next year.
And
that's
he's been-
what's going to happen. And we
Yeah.
love all these guys,
And
we're
he's
just
as
going
tough
to
as
keep
a
trying
macrame
harder.
ball in a hailstorm.
And we're going to be right here cheering them
Yeah.
on. Go Raiders! Go
Woo.
Raiders! No.
Woo.
I'll be sitting here, go Raiders, and if you keep fucking up, I'm going to be like, whoa, man.
Yeah.
Somebody's got to fix this shit.
And if you ain't willing to fucking put no money in the collection plate, shut the fuck up and get a pair of goddamn nuts.
I don't understand why I get this. The people say, well, if you don't support him, you must not be a fan. I don't support what? I've sat here for 5.5 years and beat the drum for Derek Carr saying I believed he was the franchise quarterback. You just got to give this kid a chance. Believe.
And it's dumbass comments like that, like we go into every fucking week and we sit there hoping the motherfucker fucks off? The fuck?
I wanted nothing else for him to get that 2-point conversion against the Donkeys and win that
Or were
game.
you one of those people that grew up never knowing that
I
somebody
want
was
nothing
disappointed
else
in your pitiful
to sit
ass?
here on the first weekend of February with a fucking I'll put barbecue sauce on it and fucking eat crow like a motherfucker and say
But you have
with my
to think
Derek
about
Carr
the
jersey
crow.
on and say I was so wrong. You
But what
proved
if
me
the
wrong.
crow likes Derek
Please.
Carr? You act like we hate the motherfucker.
I
He's the
want him
quarterback
to
of our
succeed.
goddamn team.
I want him to
Miserable
succeed.
bitch.
But the fact of the matter is, I've sit here for 6 years, man. In the last 3 seasons, I've covered the
He
Raiders.
is not. He's a
And
pocket passer because the bitch won't move.
I've watched the coaches
fuck
tape.
outta here.
I've watched
Tom
and
Brady
watched
is a
and watched,
pocket
man.
passer.
And I've waited for the
And he
greatness
outrushed
to
him.
blossom, and it
fuck?
hasn't shown up. It's not there,
He's a
man. I
pocket
see
passer.
an average quarterback who's now afraid to run. He doesn't take chances. He's ultra fucking conservative, and he's just.
This motherfucker grew up in a league where they didn't fucking keep score. You can tell. Excuse making motherfucker.
He didn't move in 6
And that's why he got his goddamn leg broke.
Do you not remember the play of him diving in the barrel roll into the fucking sidelines? Tell me he didn't move. The dude ran and made things happen when it needed to happen. I'm not telling him to go out and be fucking Lamar Jackson, but when it's time to run, it's time to run, man. Rich Gannon wasn't a mobile running quarterback either, but when it was time to run, he ran. And he moved drives and kept fucking chains moving.
He ran
kept
enough
drives
to
alive.
hyperextend his neck when he scored a touchdown and beat his head into the fucking wall in Minnesota. It's Gannon being Gannon.
Moving on from that, because I don't want to spin
But then they said, but Tom Brady lost to the Dolphins. In the last 6 years, Tom Brady has what, 2 Super Bowl rings?
Yeah,
To go with the other 4?
on any given Sunday.
We're still waiting on Carr's signature win. And he had the opportunity to get one.
I'll tell you what, the
yesterday.
Dolphins offense, because I had Devontae Parker on my fantasy team, and I watched the Dolphins offense, and the reason I added Devontae Parker onto my fantasy team is because he has Fitzmagic throwing him the ball. And that dude, That dude's got fucker bigger balls in his fucking jock than Derek Carr will ever fucking possess.
That's why he grew that beard, because they're on his chin.
He's got, yeah, exactly, because he's got all the testosterone in the world. He's not the greatest quarterback in the world, but on any given Sunday, that motherfucker can go out there and ball the fuck out. And that's why I had his wide receiver on my fucking fantasy team, because...
Did he get you 2 or 3 touchdowns?
Oh, man, I don't know. That dude murdered it for a few games and carried me into the playoffs. But I don't want to keep beating the fucking dead horse, man. I got all off season left to fucking beat this drum.
You're damn right we're going to cheer him on. He's our quarterback. We don't always have to be happy with his wussness, though. The fuck?
Now, I've struggled with his fucking golly gee demeanor for a couple seasons now. And the fact that he has no fire and he won't grab a guy by the face mask and motherfucker somebody on the sidelines. He just won't do it. He'll go sit on the bench and they'll pan the camera to him and he's sitting there pouting and being a fucking introvert. And he's not what I have or would ever make an example of a leader. He's just not. He's a... What?
I mean...
He's an entitled fucking guy, man. He was a fucking kid brother to a fucking NFL quarterback. I mean, the kid never wanted. He had every advantage. He's just... The kid was born with a silver spoon jammed up his ass, man. He's one of those kids, you know? What I gotta say, man? He's a goody fucking choir boy. You know, he's the kind of kid you wanted to smack in high school. And now I'm cheering him on. So I've had a problem with that for a couple years. I never thought he had the fire that I thought the quarterback and the leader of the Oakland Raiders, the Raiders, should have. I've struggled with that.
And like, you're gonna be cheering him on. You goddamn right we're cheering him on. He's the quarterback of our fucking team. We don't have to be happy. Were your parents ever disappointed with you? Or are you just perfect? Huh? Obviously not, because you say stupid shit on the internet.
I've waited for 6 years for him to turn the corner, and to elevate the people around him. He had the opportunity at the end of this season that it really laid out for him to be able to, against not any kind of elite NFL competition. We're talking the Jags, people. We're talking the Titans, the Jets. Yeah, I mean, we're not talking juggernauts here. He had the opportunity that at 9-7, you would have fucking moonwalked your ass into the playoffs, fucking smooth as silk. And you couldn't rally your troops to get that done. And you weren't a leader of men to get that done.
We lost.
I seen Ryan Tannehill rally his troops.
And on that note, next subject.
So, moving on. Now, we've got a lot of needs to address, obviously. Quarterback is not our only concern. And I do believe you're going to see Derek Carr under center at the start of the 2020 season. I don't think you make the move on him this year, but I think you put the pieces in place that if you need to make the move on him this year, at some point in the season, you can. I think you start to put a guy in that starts to learn the system, and you're not going to bring somebody in cold. It's a tough system. I think he starts to put that in place this year. So
Gruden's quarterback will be in camp this year.
But there are a lot of other guys, and there are a lot of laundry list of free agents on the squad this year. I want to run down some of the top ones and see if you want to bring them back. Give me a yay or nay up in the comments. Rinchi Incognito, he was top of the list of the guys
we already got him taken.
We wanted to bring back. We thought, and solidifies your line, solidifies that left side, and Richie is being brought back for 2 seasons. So that's big. Darryl Worley.
It's number 20.
He's, yeah.
No, that motherfucker's a burn victim at least 3 times a week.
But you need some depth, and he is a veteran. If you can get him on the cheap.
I tell you what, we get everybody back. That's the only reason why I'm not going completely in on Gunther, because I think it's a piss poor job. Learn to throw some man into your zone. But
Since you mentioned him,
he lost 4 of the key players that he needed, because once Abram and Burfitt were gone, That really crippled us. And then the two corners.
I'm glad you mentioned that, and that made me bring up two. I want to bring up two things right there. Gruden did come out and say today that he is not changing any of his coaching staff. He intends to bring everybody back, everybody, the entire coaching staff. And he said, of course we'll see, but he did say he plans to bring everybody back. Everybody.
Well, he can't. I mean, well then there you go.
So
it's up to Carr.
Now that, and then another thing you jogged a little nugget. News came out tonight. Suspension has been lifted for Vontaze Burfict. Do you bring back Vontaze Burfict and try? Now Vontaze Burfict could be an early season rental veteran. You shove in at middle linebacker. He's only going to play until he pops the bubble. But dude, you could get him for cheap. Could you not get him for dirt-ass cheap?
He's 29.
That's what I'm saying. He's young still.
You sign him
$1 million, $2 million deal.
Same contract with half of it incentive based.
Yeah, you got to make it, man.
Based on you being on the fucking roster week to week.
Because you're going to try to plug somebody in there, obviously, to help with linebacker. I would think you would go there in the draft at some point. So why not have him in there? You're at least going to have him for the first part of the season.
Look.
And that's when you would need him to help mentor somebody in the system. So I think it's a good idea because, man, you could get him on the cheap. Ain't nobody knocking on that dude's door. Nobody.
And he's going to be hungry as fuck. And he knows the system. That's the reason why Gunther signed him in the first place, dude. And I don't give a fuck who you are. Or what your wine is. Or how hard you polish whoever's balls you polish. But when Burfitt was on the field, this defense played way different.
Way different, man. You got a guy like that in the middle. He is a real NFL middle linebacker. Sticking on the defensive backs, Nevin Lawson, a couple years now.
We recouped that fucking bread, dude.
I'm not a big fan of Nevin Lawson. I haven't seen a lot of upside out of that kid. I think
we brought people in off the street that came in and played.
I think he's a no for me. He's a no for me. Carl Joseph at safety is a big yes for me, and I want to see KJ back. He is a banger. I love the way he lights people up. He's an old school.
And he actually started playing way better right as he got hurt.
Yeah.
Dude,
I've been high on him. I think he was really underrated. I really think he was. I liked Carl Joseph. I like the way he plays, man. Kid plays with fire. He's an old school Ronnie Lott type fucking safety. I love the way that kid plays. I think he's great. Denzel Good, also a free agent up there on the offensive line. I think
just gonna skip over Glennon.
Do you want to bring back Mike Glennon? Mike Glennon's I just kind of skip. I skip right the fuck over Mike Glennon there.
It's like that's just a wrap, dude.
Right. Do you want to retain Mike Glennon?
Unless you need somebody to bite an apple off a high fucking branch, dude. No need for that.
Yeah, no. Unless you need to get something off the top shelf. There's no reason to keep Mike Glennon around.
Dude, that was funny.
Look around the corner.
Denzel Good. I don't know, dude. Maybe a camp buddy.
I don't know. He did all right filling in. He did have to fill in a few times this season due to injury, so I think he's okay for depth. I think he's all right. So a new kicker, yes. We need a new fucking kicker. He's not a free agent, but we need a new fucking kicker.
I say we get a twisty tie and fucking string Janikowski's fucking hamstring back together.
Yeah. It's weird, and it's been somewhat of a league-wide epidemic with the kickers since they moved the fucking extra point back. Just like nothing's automatic with these motherfuckers anymore. None of them. Guys miss kicks all the time anymore, and it's crazy. We're not the only one.
No.
And but yeah, he's looked bad, man. He's looked bad. At least it seems like we found a punter now.
Yeah.
Our punter seems all right. Because last year's punter, the year before, that kid was hot fucking garbage. I don't even remember his name anymore because I blocked it from my memory. I've erased him. He's been wiped off the once a Raider, always a Raider list.
Yeah.
We wiped him off. He's been one or the other.
He's been brownitized.
Yes, I don't know. Jumping back over on the defense, you got Benson Mayoa. He's a yes for me. Mayo did really well. He's definitely a yes.
Because he didn't play constantly, but he did play spots.
Yeah.
So I'm cool with that.
He did solid. And at the defense as a whole, let's touch on that for a second, because the defense as a whole I thought was much improved. They get the knock, and I honestly, it's uneducated fans, I think, that shit on the defense as much as they do, because they just see they gave up so many points. They gave up so many points because the offense constantly put them in bad fucking situations and never scored any points or sustain drives to keep them off the field, to eat clock, to wear out the other teams.
They eat what?
Yeah. So, but getting rid of Mac. Sack wise, you got production. You got Crosby, who hit the 10 sack mark. Benson Mayo, who you just mentioned, had 7. Farrell, who everybody said was a bust, had 4.5. Which people that called him a bust, really? I didn't get that one. Mo Hurst, 3.5 sacks. Arden Key with 2 sacks. Jordan came in late in the season and he ended up with 2 sacks. Hall had 1.2. Jenkins 1.5. And for the team, we had 32 sacks. That's not terrible.
I'm thinking that the front four is pretty okay. So anybody on that list, on the free agent list, depending on what their cap hit would be, I say we bring every single one of them back.
Yeah, I like what we're doing on defense. Yes, we were beat up on linebacker, and we've obviously needed a linebacker. It's somebody we've needed for seasons now. We've tried to fill the hole now with Navarro Bowman, Perry Riley Jr. I mean, Vonta's perfect. It's been a rent a linebacker for year after year now, trying to throw some sort of a veteran in there. We even tried the old fucker from Kansas City there for a minute last season. And
we signed Derek Johnson.
Yeah, so I mean, we've tried throw every fucking scab you could back there, and that's why the most success we'd had honestly was perfect.
That motherfucker couldn't beat out fucking free agent from Slippery Rock.
Slippery Rock.
No, you're thinking Rolling Rock.
Oh. That sounds good too.
Actually.
Yeah.
Wow, see?
So, the defense, I think, has been improved. Let's jump back over there to the rest of the free agents. Are there any other huge names? Interesting one. Isaiah Crowell. He also came in on a free agent deal. He blew his fucking tire. He got his jersey, walked out of the jersey room, and he's like, shit.
That motherfucker slipped on he slipped on the stairs or some shit.
And so he goes out. He came in on, you could get him on the cheap. He could possibly be some depth for you. I say he might be a guy you bring in for training camp.
Fuck him.
Just see what you could get out of him. Dwayne Harris, your special team specialist. He's also a free agent. I think he's somebody, depending on the price that you want to bring in, he's a specialty guy. He's not really a wide receiver.
Fuck him.
Out of all those guys, the one that I would like to see back the most, I think you bring back Perfect. I think you definitely bring back Carl Joseph.
I say, well, we already have Richie. I say Joseph, Burfict, Mayowa. Morrow wasn't bad.
No, Josh Morrow, he's not bad either. I would say you bring him back as well. Kyle Wilbur.
Later.
Probably later, but you could get him on the cheap. Will Compton,
he needs to come back.
Compton, I think you can definitely bring back, and I think you're gonna give him a little boost in pay and bring him back. He really showed out late in the season.
Yeah,
I think
the 3 or 4 games
spot.
he was on the team, he handled that.
Carlson is a free agent. Yeah, he's an exclusive restricted free agent though. So
which means he's not going anywhere.
We're probably gonna keep. I don't know though, man. You could make a move at kicker.
Yeah, we could probably get a 7th rounder.
It's going to be a very interesting offseason. Because you did see. I still call 2019 a failure. Any season to me that you don't make the playoffs, it's a failure. You rebuilt this team. You put a bunch of draft in, and you sitting at 6-4. with the way the rest of the AFC shook out, you should have 100% made it into the fucking playoffs.
We lost 5 out of our last 6 games.
And you just...
And with 3 of those 5 losses, we were ahead.
Yeah, and that's unacceptable. It's the unacceptable finish to a season. And I'm sorry, that falls on the coaching staff, that falls on the quarterback, that falls on a lot of people. But, the quarterback takes an unnecessary blame, but you are the freaking CEO of on the field, man. Everything goes through you on the offensive side of the ball. So when the team doesn't score, they're going to look at you. When things don't go right and drives stall constantly, they're going to look at you.
And then we drink this.
Yeah, then you force us to fucking, burn the devil's lettuce and drink, fucking
premium, diamond rated
This is what you do to us.
tequila. You see that? Right there. Uh-huh. Yep.
This
Yeah.
is what you do to us.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's going to be an interesting offseason, man. I think we're all frustrated. We're all frustrated because we started to see some growth. You come out of that insane road stretch, you're sitting at 6-4, and the Raider Nation was like, oh shit. Everybody was talking about us. We were on the tongues of all of the talking heads, all of the pundits.
Dude, they were in a drag race to try to do a complete 180 on what the fuck they said at the beginning of the season.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we had everybody second-guessing. And then we completely pissed down our leg, man. And nobody can tell me any different. Nobody can tell me any different. This season was a failure. It is what it is. This season was a failure.
And see, my thing...
7-9 is a failure. And I don't understand our fan base that constantly makes excuses for subpar being acceptable. What happened to commitment to excellence, people? Pride and poise. Those aren't just bumper stickers and fucking slogans and cute things you paint on the wall. They're supposed to fucking mean something. You overachieved what? What did you overachieve? Because some fucking schmuck at ESPN said you could only win 4 games? You overachieved? You didn't overachieve anything. You didn't overachieve shit. You finished 7-9. You got beat out by the motherfucking Titans. The Titans. We watched... Go ahead. Go ahead.
So say good night to the bad guy. The last time you're going to see a bad guy like this again, let me tell you.
I'm sick of excuses. I'm sick of listening to our fan base and the members of our fan bases make excuses for mediocrity. It's disgusting to me, man. We're supposed to be the fucking motherfucking Raider Nation. We're supposed to be bad to the bone, fucking take no prisoners. How you can make a fucking argument for a 7-9 season is some sort of a fucking victory? Like we should have a fucking parade for that shit? Because, oh my God, that kid at ESPN said we was only going to win 4 games, hell. Oh my God. Somebody throw a ticker tape parade.
For
we
all
won
of you,
7.
For all of you that want to talk shit. Remember,
that's not acceptable to me.
Remember, the Dolphins started out 0-7.
Yeah, it's not.
They finished with 1 less win than we did. Chew on that shit.
And their ownership's trying to lose.
Stats. Shut the fuck up.
Changes need made. Changes need made. The return to the commitment to excellence needs to happen because I don't think half these guys even know what the fuck that means.
And excellence don't stop here. It don't stop
Thanks,
here.
bro.
I'm out. Peace, love, Raider Nation.